right, welcome back and happy Thursday. Today we're going to be talking about some pretty big movement to the 2026 class. Faizon Brandon, second day at the Elite 11 finals. No interviews today just because some folks have been having some issues with the audio. Let us know if you've had the issues, if you're listening to Bluetooth. Let us know if it wasn't Bluetooth. We're just trying to figure out exactly what the problem is so we can fix it moving forward. And also, I saw on the VolQuest Mailbag podcast earlier today, someone asked about the best athletes on this team. So I have my thoughts on it, and that's where we're going to start off at. As always, y'all, please do us a favor, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And let's take a look at my best athletes by position on this team. So for me, athletes is about your straight line speed. It's about your stop to start, getting in and out of breaks. Can you jump? All that good stuff. And I wanted to go through every spot on this team just because it's going to be a little bit different, obviously, for what you play. And I think the size also plays a factor. Plays a role into it as well. But for me, the secondary is going to be the best athletes on this team. So those three up at the top, those are the best guys. Okay, they're probably going to be the fastest and all that type of stuff. Going in and out of the drills, the GPS tracking, all the metrics, they're probably at the top of that list. So those are my top three. But then looking at the linebackers, I've got four guys here. So Jordan Burns, I think that he's number one. Arion Carter, Jaden Perlotti, and then Jaden Harmon. Those two freshmen, really good athletes. Don't know how much they're going to be able to help us out this year. I'm hoping that they will, right? Like they're coming off of an injury, didn't get to do anything in spring, but in fall camp, I think that they will have that opportunity. If they play, our entire defense takes a big step forward because if they're ready, it's a totally different makeup than what we've seen with our linebackers over the past several years. But I'd say that there's just not much separation. So for everyone that we have up here, it's pretty much a tie for me, right? Like, Jordan Burns, like I said, I think he might be one step ahead of everyone else in that room, but it's not that far off with the ones that are listed up there. So wide receiver, Mike Matthews, Braylon Staley, Ra Jackson, y'all stop sleeping on my dog. He's a beast. I think he's going to have a really good year. I'm not saying like 1,000 yards or nothing like that, but as a freshman, I think that he'll show up in some big moments, make some big plays, and we'll say, man, he's such a freak. I think you got to put him on that freak list, especially with his size. Jordan Ross, for me, he's by himself. There's a lot of separation between him and everybody else. Go back and watch his high school basketball clips. He can explode. I'm talking about boom from the free throw line, cocking it back, boom. Looks good moving around at his size. It's crazy. And I'm a little bit concerned just because I've heard it feels like maybe he's not fully bought in. Jordan, dog, please get yourself bought in because you could be a top 5, top 3, number 1 overall draft pick with your skill set. So I'm hoping that he just locks in and has a really, really big year for us. Next, for the tight ends, Ethan Davis, Brame. To me, it's, I think that they're one step in front of everyone else. They're going to have, hopefully, a very good year, especially Ethan Davis being that vet. He should be a draftable player after this year. And then running back, I think that it's Morris by himself, right? There's some other players there that obviously, like a Peyton Lewis, he has great straight line speed, but can he make you miss? I mean, yes, he can, but not like Morris. Morris is a freak. And then we've got the tackle. So I would say Bryson Easton and David Hobbs, both of those guys, man, they're just freaks. They should definitely be in the conversation for top 2 rounds in this year's draft. And then offensive line, David Sanders, super freak athlete. Really, if I was to do just like a flat out, best athletes, he might be top 5 on this whole team. Like for real. Jeremiah Hurd's not too far off either. If you watch him at 6'8", 330 pounds with pretty much no fat on his body, watch him play some basketball. He moves around very well and all that good stuff. And then we'll talk about quarterbacks. So I think that GMAC is separated from Merck. Merck will be the close second or the closest second, obviously. But Joey Aguilar, I think he's on down that list. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's pretty far behind where Merck is at. Definitely very far behind for me where GMAC is at. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on to the pretty big news, right? Some of y'all might have already seen this, but the pretty big news with the 2026 class. So this is Tyron Evans, and this is his on-3 profile. He's been part of this class since January. 6'3", about 190 pounds. I think great size. He's the only kind of like outside wide receiver that we have or that we had in this class. Rated as a 3-star overall, but really, with the industry ranking, but really On3 has him as a 4-star. I will still say that I think he's really, really good. This is a bigger loss than some folks are, letting on at this point, I think personally. But He did decommit. Okay, so he just came off of a visit to Miami last weekend, and after that visit, he opened things back up. Now he's supposed to be coming up to Knoxville this weekend. I don't know if he's still going to do it. The one thing that I will say though is later on tonight we will have some information on exactly how that's going to look. So if you are a member of our Patreon, you will get that info, even if you're a member for free. So on Thursday nights, we'll come in and we'll give y'all some, just audio clips, updated info for everybody. Y'all can go and join us on Patreon for free at patreon.com/Bluechip Breakdown. But yeah, this one's pretty big. Hopefully we could get him back because I would love to add him to this class. I've heard some folks saying, well, Tennessee might only add 3 wide receivers to this class. I feel like why not add 4? Like why not add 5? Add, as many as you can, relatively speaking, right? Just because that room is shorthanded right now. You don't want to have that moving forward. So just add as many as you can. He's a very good player, like I said, and I'm hoping that we can turn things back around. Now let's talk about some more pretty big news here. Actually, this is very, very big news. Darian Albert, so 4-star tackle from Mississippi. He's teammates with TJ White, really good size. I told y'all, love his film. He's one of those bigger guys. And he was supposed to be going to Mississippi State this weekend. Sounds like he just canceled that, right? Like he went to Twitter and he said, I'm not going there. I don't know if he's going to schedule somebody else, but this makes me feel like Tennessee's in a just tremendously outstanding spot because coming out of that OV, felt like Tennessee was his leader, and same thing with his teammate, TJ White. No news yet on is TJ White still going to Mississippi State or not, but I think that we're in a really, really good spot for him. Whole point here is with Darian, we felt like, or some of the insiders were saying that he might want to stay closer to home. If he's not going on a visit to like Ole Miss or something like that, or Southern Miss maybe, who knows, then I think that Tennessee should be the front-running program, especially because Iverson Garcia just chose South Florida yesterday. Like I talked about in our stream last night, I said, dude, we got to go to these tackles and whatever we offer them with the NIL, with the revenue sharing, add some more money to that pot because we need to get in these, big-time players on the inside. I think that Tennessee might have done that, and maybe that's why he canceled his OV to Mississippi State. But either way, those are all very positive things. And I also want to go on ahead and take a look at everyone, right? And we looked at this yesterday too, but I want to show y'all all the players that Tennessee's in a good spot for in the 2026 class and what their visits will be for this upcoming weekend. So Zion Gibson, we talked about him going to Bama. That's a really, really big one. If he comes out of that one and if they can't really, lock him down, then hopefully Tennessee will end up landing him because Tennessee needs cornerbacks more than Alabama does. He has a better opportunity to start earlier at Tennessee than he does at Alabama. I also think that we'll be able to pay him more money because he's a bigger need for us. So that one's big. Tristan Keys going to LSU. That one's going to be big. J.J. Finch going down to the U. That one's huge. Who else do we got? We just talked about T.J. White. And let me see. Who else do we have in it? Joel White, he's not going anywhere. So, or at least up to this point, we don't think he's going anywhere. Brody Smith going to NC State. J.B. Shabazz going to Ohio State. Edward Baker, he's at Ole Miss. That one's one to definitely watch. I think that Tennessee's been in a good spot for him, but Ole Miss does a good job with these OVs. Darius Gray going to South Carolina. That one's huge. If he comes out of that visit in Tennessee, and Tennessee is still number one, Tennessee is where he's going to go. I can almost guarantee you that. Tristan Givens, huge one going to Texas A&M. He's going to choose his school on Monday. We have got to stay in contact with him. Legend Bay, he's also going there. He's from Texas. Kendrick Golston going to Vi Tech. We'll see what type of a rev share and NIL package they're going to throw at him. Hezzy Harris is with the Vols. Everyone else that you're looking at here is with our Tennessee Volunteers. And now let's talk about Faizon Brandon's second day at the Elite 11 Finals. They did a pro day for all these quarterbacks where here you're going to see him throwing at these targets. He went 14 of 20. I think the best one might have been 18 of 20. He was on the lower list as far as the accuracy goes. I think they probably also threw to some wide receivers in a portion of this, but it doesn't sound like he had his best day. Now, he had to go dead last, which sucks. I think it's like 20 quarterbacks out there or something like that. So he was probably just, like not loose and not warmed up. And he still looks good, though. My biggest thing is watching him for 2026 once he comes up on campus. He's got all the tools. So that's going to be probably, the biggest takeaway. But just listening to what some of the analysts had to say, it doesn't really feel like they're looking at him at this point to be a finalist to actually win this whole thing. So is one more day left on the final day. They're doing a 7-on-7. If he steps up in that situation, then he is going to, I think that he's going to be fine because it's not so much about what do you do on air. It's about what do you do whenever it's like a live situation. And plus, I know that the guy at 24/7 Sports really likes Faizon. Now, he's not going to be part of the voting process. And I do like that they're actually throwing at targets here just because it's, it's not about you judging it. It's just about, hey, either they hit the targets or they didn't. But saying all those things just to say that if he has a big day tomorrow, he can still win it. What are the implications? It's just going to be, can he be the number one overall player? Can he hold on to it with 24/7 Sports? And will he move up for some of the other sites? It doesn't really mean a whole lot. Like DJ Lagway didn't do very well at this thing, like a couple of years ago. But we all know that he's a really good freaking quarterback. Some folks are just better actually on the field when it's a live situation with the pads on. That's what counts. So that's going to be it, y'all. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts down in the comment section. And as always, please do us a favor. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to go check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Bluechip Breakdown. And we'll be talking to y'all later on tonight. Thanks. Peace. Thanks for watching. And please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.